know what is what, but you don't know what is what. What the fuck? I'm trying to reduce my swear words on my videos, but it is can be super challenging. This is what I gotta say to you guys today. Ah, ah. Oh, I'm a bird. Oh my god. From yesterday, this weekend for me has been some deep, deep healing. Just a lot of crying and uprising and more crying and more screaming. Ah! So, why do we do this? Why do we do this deep dish apple pie healing work extravaganza? Okay? Because sometimes, let's be honest, it's shit. It feels like shit. I said I was going to try to not swear, but I guess. Oh my God. So, for today's live, I really want to connect with you. And today, after I did some deep work, some breath work, and inner child work, and I literally, when this stuff comes up, it's just, I have to go with it, or else my body will force me to do this deep work. However, and after sometimes doing 6 hours, 8 hours of meditation, Reiki, whatever, guess what? The joy starts to creep back. The joy, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of contentment, the feeling of, I'm okay. I'm okay. I got this. So, for today's live, I wanted to talk to you about how healing trauma can actually bring in the bling. Okay? Why healing deep trauma will bring in the bling. It will get you over, can actually be the cause of your money hump, and also can get you over your money hump in your life. So let's go in. Let's take a dive and figure this shit out. Okay. So you understand, in my life when I was making money, I used to actually feel like money came to me very effortlessly. You know, when I switched from being a supplement rep to having a business, my own business, it was effortless. It kind of just flowed to me easily. And I think I made more money in my first year of business, like 70 G's, than I did with my other company. But at one point in my healing, and this is what I want to share with you in case any of you are if you feel like money is, like, I was going to say, like a bad boyfriend, or it's like here 1 second, gone the next. And maybe you get some, and then you get bill after bill, you crash your car, you get a speeding ticket, you go to the dentist, and next thing you know, you have a $4,000 bill. Or I know one time I was grinding my teeth so hard I cracked the whole tooth, and wouldn't you know, $5,000-$6,000 later. And this can really happen when there's a lot of trauma. So when the universe decides it's time for you to heal, some of this trauma in your body around that which affects money. So money, when it comes to childhood trauma, always relates to a few different issues. One, it relates to issues of security, safety, feeling a sense of trust. So if as a kid, if you didn't feel safe in your life, somewhere in your life, if you didn't feel safe, if you had abuse, whether that's physical abuse or sexual abuse, or even emotional abuse where your parents, perhaps you had a very arrogant parent, and they knew everything, Let me tell you, I know. If anyone's on this live, just pop a comment below. So does anyone have any let me know if you've had any parents like that, where they say, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. They never ask you what you think you should do. That's a form of abuse. If your parents are always neglectful, or selfish, or if your parents, for example, didn't make you feel safe, perhaps they were scary. Ever have scary parents when, maybe you had acted out and then your dad came down on you super fucking hard? These kind of things can affect your money issues for the rest of your life, okay? Because abuse of any time as a kid you felt unsafe or not secure, or even you had an emotion that went unacknowledged. So you felt, alone. You didn't feel secure. You maybe had sadness and you were sent to your room. All these issues, they go to the second chakra. Okay, that's below the belly button. And this is your power chakra. Like, this is your sexual, your creativity chakra. It really has to do with money, relationship, sex, creativity. So the interesting thing is, and even safety, let me just correct that. Safety and security often goes to the first chakra as well. Okay, so first, second chakra. And if these chakras are out of balance, you will not make money in your life. Money will come and then money will go. Okay, because especially if the universe it realizes it's time for you to heal. It's time for you to heal. No more fucking around. Like, what I mean by this is, say you go to make money and then next thing you know, your money goes away. And it brings up those same feelings of feeling unsafe, feeling not secure. And often when I was doing this healing, when I had a dark night of the soul for 4 or 5 years, and I called it a Kundalini awakening. Hi Munchie. If anyone's on the call, just drop a comment in. New York in the house. I love it. I know, it's so fun because my clients are all over the world now. I was just chatting with someone in the UK, so it's so great. I'm just super excited. I bow before you guys. But yeah, tell me, anybody on the call, if you have an issue with safety and lack of security, or your money comes and goes. Because when for example, and this is the same thing with abandonment. If you had, hi Yvonne, oh my gosh, lovely, lovely, lovely to have you here. I'm going to be doing more of these lives, so I'm so excited. So with abandonment, if you were abandoned as a kid, if you experienced parents that were emotionally unavailable, Okay, and by that I mean every time you were sad, they did not nurture that. Perhaps they said, suck it up. Perhaps they said, like, enough with the tears. Or maybe they were a person that said, like, be grateful. Like, you should be grateful, which is a load of shit. But anyway, it's good in some moments, but not when you're feeling sad. So when you have parents that aren't there for you, and dads, a lot of dads are emotionally available, it's abandonment as a child. And what will happen in your life if you experience abandonment? So I had abandonment when I was 2 or 3. I was left somewhere. When the universe decided it was time to heal me, holy shit. It was my money. It would happen with love and with money because it was the same chakra. So for example, in regards to money, I would make money 1 second. Like 1 week I would have a ton of clients, and then the next week, gone. No clients. Nobody would show up. And before this, I could make money effortlessly. It was always easy to do. And all of a sudden, just crickets. And then it would bring up all those fears. And my biggest fear was even like something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Because that's how I felt as a kid when I was left by myself. I felt like something bad is going to happen and that I can't support myself, and what am I going to do, and I can't handle it. And then when I finally would go in and I would go back down to that memory when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and I would start to give it the attention that it needed, and I would say to that child, I would say, sweetheart, I am so sorry. That was awful. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And when I started to create that security within myself, when I started to create that comfort, when I wouldn't abandon myself, when you get, I don't know, Munchie Yvonne, when you guys get anxiety, what do you guys do with it? Drop a comment. Tell me what you do. Because this is why I always ask people when they're coming into the program, I say, or into my group, I say, what do you do with your anxiety? Because what you do with it it tells me everything and tells me the direction we need to go. Because if you get anxiety, but then you busy yourself, Shiraz, it's really tasty. Let's be honest. But you drink it away, or, that's what I did for my lifetime. So there's no shame. Or maybe you just distract yourself or get social. But every time you distract yourself, you are abandoning yourself. You are abandoning yourself. And so in terms of manifestation, like attracts like. So if you're good at abandoning yourself, and that creates insecurity and lack of safety, then you're going to have that same issue with money, where money is going to abandon you. So what you do, your inner world reflects your PTSD from your childhood. Oh, I get that. I will talk about that in a second. So your inner world creates your outer world. So when in your life, when you get these issues that keep coming up, and for me, and I had PTSD, Yvonne, from, oh my God, if you watch my other video, you'll get it, but tons of sexual abuse, tons of 300 relapses in my life. And a lot of us can have it from the childhood if we, if we had really rough, most of us are fucked up from our childhoods, okay? There's not too many people. Yeah, and anxiety, when I say anxiety, it can show up as depression. It can show up as, it doesn't even have to be anxiety. For like, even right now, when I'm talking to you, I got this pain right here, just a little bit of energy in my eye. I can feel it. Like that just tells me, oh, there's something there. There's something unresolved there. So it doesn't need to be, it could be just like a pain in your stomach. It could be this, whenever your body speaks, Whenever your body speaks, it is like a little child tugging on your pants, going, pay attention to me. You are not, there's nothing wrong with you. Anxiety and depression does not mean there's anything wrong with you. It is the messenger. It is the answer that you're looking for is in the negativity. It's in the anxiety. It's in the depression. It's in the, that is where you want to go. Everybody tries to like take antidepressants, but you take antidepressants. I'm not saying, first of all, I am not condoning antidepressants if you need them temporarily. I don't want, like, fuck the shame, but because it's fine. But the problem, if you think you're just going to take that antidepressant, it's going to hold you back from manifesting whatever you want in your life, because the answer is in the anxiety. It's like that little kid from your childhood. Oh yeah, Anita, I see what you say. You say, I smoke when I get anxiety. Yeah, that's another, it works temporarily. It works temporarily to do that. But the problem is that the emotion goes ignored. And you can't ignore yourself into wholeness. And so let's repeat that. You can't ignore yourself into wholeness. So how money is going to show up in your life, is you need to create safety and security and self and presence with yourself. You can't abandon yourself, or else, like for me, I kept getting nailed for an entire year and a half. My money kept coming and going. It was ridiculous, and it basically got to the so that's one thing. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is start to connect and tune into your emotions. Even take some time, instead of smoking, instead of drinking, and it's okay if you talk to people. I think someone said you talk to your sons. So that's great. But the only thing is if you talk to your people, you need to, and you don't talk about your feelings, it's about going into the feelings and honoring that and figuring out what the lesson is. Like what did that little child need to hear? And what do I need to say to them? That's the most important thing. And I'm going to tell you, with manifesting money, I went from making $5,000 a month to making $13,000 a month. And it was all from doing deep work. Because every single time you set a new standard for your money situation, whatever it is, then the universe is going to go, oh, okay, the old must die for the new to be born. So all the beliefs that don't support your new money mindset are going to come up as anxiety, as depression, as fucking just like pain. Just like pain in that was what I dealt with all weekend. It was like my goal was to make $35,000 a month, and all the trauma was just coming up about my sexual abuse. All the trauma just surfacing and just excruciatingly painful, and all I did is I canceled all my plans. I didn't do anything all weekend, and I just was there for myself. So I gave myself that security, and I gave myself that attention and that presence. And I didn't push it away. And that's why inner child work, if anyone's needing help, then that's the 90-day program is amazing at inner child work to go in. But even until then, what you want to start to do is just start to ask yourself, how am I feeling? What is going on? Because I see this, I'm in a year-long program. It costs $40,000, and I see people hitting their money blocks, and it's always childhood stuff. So the other issue is with money and this comes up in the third chakra, is all feelings around self-worth. Okay, so self-worth, feeling good enough, feeling worthy, feeling like you have something important to say, or feeling like you're capable or competent or smart, any of those things. Where do you guys get pain? Oh, I was abandoned as a kid. Munchie. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Munchie, what's your money issues like? Tell me if what you're dealing with. Are you dealing with money issues? And sometimes, I'm going to do a reverse on this, is I'm reading what else you guys put. The biggest thing I feel is shame when I feel anxiety, like I should be able to shake it off. So Yvonne, what I want to ask you is, who told you to shake it off as a kid? Yeah, who told you to shake it off as a kid? Because oftentimes we have our parents' story in our mind. That tell us to, stop being such a baby. Stop, suck it up, be grateful. All this BS. And it's just because they weren't taught any different. They were taught totally how to be emotionally unavailable for themselves. That's what they were taught. So ask yourself, when did I hear, who said this? Because that's not your voice. That's somebody else's, that you need to shake it off. That's somebody else's. That came from somewhere in your childhood. Oh, hey, Megan, how are you? I have pain in my shoulders. Megan says, I have pain in my shoulders, but I already know the emotional meaning, right? Shoulders is like the weight of the world, taking on other people's responsibilities. Yeah, dad has no patience with emotion. This is the problem. One of the biggest issues of money issues, if you get pain on your right side, is dads, emotionally unavailable fathers. Okay, dads, man. The men, they gotta step it up, yo. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am being like an advocate for my son for the first time. And we had a 3-way conversation with my son and his dad, and my son basically said to his dad, like, Dad, I feel like you're aggressive with me. And my dad and his father, it's taken me 4 years to have this conversation because he would never have it, because my son hated going there to the point I couldn't force him to go anymore. And his dad ended up listening to him for the first time. And he said, like, also, Dad, like, if I'm crying, can you give me a hug? Because you never give me a hug when I'm crying. Right? Fuck. Step it up, dads. I'm a musician and very sensitive, so I cry easily. Of course you do. That's awesome. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So, hold on, shake it off. Okay, yeah. So the big issue, another issue with money is, we said, feeling worthy. And this is a big one. This is a big one. This can cover so many issues. So I'm going to bring up a couple of examples. Okay, before I go into this is what I wanted to say. So 2, if you had abandonment as a kid, okay, it can mean you could be like my mother. So my mother, her mother left her when she was born right away. So there's a big history of abandonment in my family, and it goes like 7 years back. Everybody was abandoned. Everybody was sexually abused. So when my mom, how she dealt with her abandonment was she had to have safety. She had to have security. So she had to make everything, she had to get a job that was secure. And she never left her job, even though, it was like, even if she wanted to kind of do something else, she had to stay with it. This can happen in so many of my clients where they have it holds them back from making more money and doing what they love, because they are so terrified of stepping into the unknown and stepping into uncertainty, because it brings up all those feelings of abandonment, all those feelings of unsafe, insecurity. And it can be very scary. So when you go to, and this is why, like, my mom is not a person that is willing to work on her abandonment issues or her scarcity issues. She's like, does not think she needs to change, and just like, and she used to, all her advice to me, and this is what you got to break through too. If you had parents that were, they use control, they create this world of safety, and that's good for them, that has worked for them. The problem is that might not work for you. They might not, my mom was always like, don't take any risks. People are going to scam you. They're only trying to get your money. What are your parents like? Are they security junkies, or are what's their money situation? Comment below. What's your parents' money story? Because you will, and this, oh my God, we could do a 12-week series just on money issues. But you will usually either go totally the opposite way as your parents or copy it exactly. Okay? You will do the exact same thing. So for myself, I was terrified of taking risks in the beginning. Like, sometimes I would take risks, but when I had to make really big risks, my mom's voice would come in. They're going to scam you. Very skeptical. Like, anything that's too good to be true is too good to be true. All these kind of stories. Why do you need that much money? I was raised as a Buddhist, so it was like, selflessness and all this shit, which is fine. Megan says, security junkie. She's been working the same job since her 20s, and I know she doesn't like it. So it's very interesting. Okay? So it's very important, if you're trying to break through your money issues, is write down in a journal, write down what your parents' money issues were, right? What was your story around money? What were you told? Because that is going to be what you need to break through. You're going to have to create a new story. What else? Yvonne says, my mother hated rich people. Oh, now, yeah, having money turned people into selfish jerks. Right? This is, I know, right? This is the kind of shit that we have to break through, right? It's very hard to become rich if you hate people that are rich, okay? And it's very hard if, we need more people that are rich, good people that are rich. It's hard to be as big of an influence in this life. Having money is opportunity to be a big influence in this life. That's why I used to just charge minimum for my services. And it was a joke, because I was always never getting ahead and barely getting by, and how is that good for the world? And how is that good for my clients to help them get over their money issues? Just charging them so little money that it enables their money issues. Now I charge my clients a ton of money to get over their money issues. It sounds crazy, but even when I started, I never thought I could make $13,000 a month, $13,000. And the only reason that I got to that place, Anita, hi, is I took a chance. I went against all my mom's advice of people are trying to scam you. I had invested in maybe 4 programs, and it was the wrong program at the wrong time. I don't know if anybody has done that in this group. The wrong investment at the wrong time. a lot of times when it comes to programs, if you invest in a program that doesn't know how to go into the deep, deep trauma and healing issues, you might be wasting your money. That's what I was doing. There was a lot of action programs I took, but the trauma kept coming up and it kept surfacing. And it actually was happening for me to actually heal it, to make more money. But I couldn't do these programs because it was all action. I needed deep healing. Okay, that's why in my 90-day program, I'm telling you, it is deep, deep work. We are going into your childhood, your stories, what your parents said, your abandonment, when you were bullied, when you were sexually abused, all this stuff is stopping you from making more money. So with me, when I decided, it was terrifying. I mean, I had to invest in a $40,000 program. Okay, $40,000 and $10,000. And when I did that, I was freaked out, because all my mom's stuff came up in my head and I thought, oh my God. But you know what I thought? You know how I got over it? Is I was like, I went in and I said, what am I scared of? And my biggest thing was being a failure, fucking up. So I went down and then I said, and then what? If I fail, then my mom is going to be right. So when I kept going down and I just and then what? And then what? What's the worst thing that can happen? I screw up. And then what? If I screw up, then I wasted my money. And then what? And then I would be a failure. And then what? And then my mom would be right. Okay, so this is a little practice you could do with yourself. But I'm going to tell you something. So when I connected to that little child that felt like a failure, I said, what did that child need to hear? And then my child needed to hear, like, sweetheart, make as many mistakes as you want. Make a ton of mistakes. Fall down. I'm sure you can get back up. Take chances. Take risks. When I started connecting, it's like right when I started to heal that stuff, I was like, damn, I'm doing it. And even I just made it happen. I made the money happen. And this is the thing. When you really want to invest in something, there is ways you can do it. You just have to believe it's possible and start to expand your mind. Okay? I want to read what you guys have said. Anita says, hi, Anita. I never felt good enough because I grew up poor with people having more money. And that's the thing. When you grow up poor, there's this lot of I'm not, these people are better than me and I don't have anything to contribute. And I'm all of this stuff. Especially when there's cool kids. Cool kids, that's another situation. Money, another trauma that you're going to have to get over. Megan says, spent $14K in nursing school, which I don't want to do anymore. I picked it because it was safe. And see, this is the thing. The universe is not going to reward you if you're picking something from a state of fear. If fear is the root emotion, the core emotion, you cannot create abundance and security from a fear-based decision. Okay? Impossible. And now, of course, Megan, you're the Mac Daddy. You're getting it. Okay, so this is it. So the universe, even if you choose something, it's going to, because it doesn't really care about you making a lot of money. The universe, God, spirit, whoever you believe, wants you to feel abundant now. When you feel abundant now, then you are going to attract abundance. You got to be it to attract it. You got to be it and believe it. You can't fake be it. You can't fake believe it. Okay, there's no amount of positivity, fake ass positivity, that's going to work to attract money if you feel fearful. Okay, same thing with weight loss. You can't hate yourself trying to lose weight into health. It's not going to work. Or hate yourself into confidence. It's It's crazy. What else? Yvonne, my mother also told me that whatever I did between high school and marriage should be just a pastime since I would want to mold to my husband. Totally. Oh my God, what a joke, right? Okay, yeah, and this is the stuff. So it makes you feel like you're not worthy. It's funny, as I'm talking to you guys, I got a lot of emotion coming up in my tummy. Anyone getting it in the tummy? Because usually I pick up on your emotions, you guys. So a lot of tummy coming up. Where do you feel it in your body, Yvonne? Tell me. Anita, I worry about how we can get the money to get started. Oh, very good question. So, well, first of all, if you don't have money right now, you soak up as much free content as you can, kind of like this. You can start writing down some of those stories. The minute you start to set an intention for more money or for a better life, everything that is stopping you from getting that life is going to present itself. And you're going to think that you're going the wrong way. You're going to be like, the universe is against me, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's kind of like if your stomach, that's where I'm getting it on you, Yvonne. I just feel it. I'm just like, oh, it's in the tummy. So when you go after a goal and you say you go after making money and then you lose a whole bunch of money, okay, and you think, fuck, this is not what's supposed to be happening. It is what's supposed to be happening. Let me tell you, because the answer is in the loss of money. The answer is in what comes up, when you go backwards. The answer is in going backwards, okay? You need to go into that feeling of whatever came up when you're like, oh, life is against me. The universe never gives me a break. All those feelings you get. So then you take that feeling and you go down into your childhood and you say, when did I feel like I never got a break? When did I feel like, say, Yvonne, for you, my feelings didn't matter? When did I feel like my feelings didn't matter? When did I feel like no one was there for me? If no one's there for you, money is not going to be there for you. Okay? If no one's there for you, money's not going to be there for you. So then you got to be there for you. You got to go into the feeling. Don't eat it away. Don't drink it away. Don't, tequila. Whatever you love, which is awesome. And I just, I had a beer the other morning at 10 in the morning. It was great. But let me tell you, sometime if you want to heal it, the answer is in the going backwards, the going back. Okay. What do you guys say? Sonia says, hi, Sonia. It's so good to see you. She says, I was very poor and at times we could not buy food and pay rent. So money is a big worry for me. That's why I'm a big hoarder. Yeah, I get it. A food hoarder. So it's so funny that you say that. I have a neighbor who his daughter is my goddaughter. I love her to pieces. But same with him. His mother was she would sell sex. She was a psychic, but she would also had this prostitution, some crazy thing going on when he was a kid. He's done really well for himself. But he had to pay all the bills as a kid. All his money, she used to get him to work, and then all his money he had to give to his mom. And so then he learned that now when he makes money, he can't get rid of it. He has to hoard it because he thinks it's going to go away. He feels like it's going to go away. So that's the same thing is, when you're hoarding stuff, you want to go into the feeling. It's the same thing. I used to be like that in my basement. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to use this. I'm going to, stuff I haven't touched in my basement for 2 years. And I still think, and then it was overrun with crap. And literally, I was just keeping money and abundance from me because it was all like grasping and holding. And this is the thing, money is a flow. Money is just energy moving. And if you feel like you start to grasp for it or hold it, it's going to be pushed away from you. So the key is going back to that memory as a kid, Sonia, when you felt poor and when you were scared and when you probably even have your parents' energy in your body of being where your parents couldn't pay rent and all of these things. And it's funny, when I'm tuning into your energy right now, it comes up in your, I'm getting it like right in your second chakra. It's right below the belly button, on the left and the right side. That's where I feel it with you. So yeah, there's something there. Ooh, it's intense, but it's like, you want to breathe into that feeling. You really want to go into that and nurture that little girl and be there for that little girl, because I don't think your mom connected to how that, or dad, how that made you feel, and maybe nurtured that, or maybe was like, listen, sweetheart, you know, even though we don't have enough, we're gonna be okay, you know, even though you know, like the most important thing is having each other, you know, and, you know, didn't make a game out of it, or didn't make, you know, she obviously put that worry onto you guys. So, or both your parents. So very, very important. One big lesson for you guys is no amount of action, just doing action, is going to heal the problem. The action is the wrong way. Being always is required before doing, meaning it's the ability to attract abundance is about your emotional state. Okay, you have to be, all your actions need to come from the correct emotional state in order to attract it. Okay, so you have to be, Anita says, I can think about what I want to start the free training courses, but I'm worried about my expenses for my house. How will I pay them? I can think about, okay, so we'll go into that in a minute. But, what was I going to say? So the very first thing is you want to go back to the memory and see what feelings are there. Start to ask yourself, how am I feeling? How'd that make me feel? Even journal it. What did I need to hear? What did I need to say as a kid? What did they need to say? So go in. So everybody write that down. You need to go back to that child and you need to talk to them. Okay? That is the biggest thing. Anita. So what does Anita say? So I can think about what I want to start the free training courses, but I'm worried about my expenses for my house. Well, yeah, you're not going to invest in something if it's making you unable to pay your house and your bills. It's just not smart. But if you guys are interested, like say if you're interested in investing in my program or another program, and you don't have the money, then the next question is like, how am I going to make the money? Right? How am I going to make the money? So it might be, oh, I need to do extra cleaning for somebody, or I need to get extra work. Or perhaps it might be like, oh, I need to ask, where can I save money? Where can you save money in your life that you're just spending money freely? You know, I did that when my money situation fell away. Okay. When I got to the place, there was a point in my business where I was doing like 12 marketing days a month. Actually, every single week I would get less and less clients, and I started freaking out, and I had my son to pay for, all these bills. And then the money still wouldn't come. So I would do more marketing days and the money still didn't come. And it basically got to the place where I was just marketing all the time, and clients, no clients would come. And I was making like $0. And any of my emotions were all from a state of anxiety, urgency, and that's why the money wasn't coming. I was desperate for money. So what happened is I just stopped working. I was like, fuck it. I'm just like, I went into my sadness. I just started healing myself. I only decided that I was going to work from inspiration. So what I knew I could do was cut in my life. So I started looking at every single expense and budgeting and seeing where I could cut. So for example, I'll just give you a few I'm going to give you guys a few little tips, and then we're going to shut it down. And for anyone that's still on the call, if you're needing help with this, book a breakthrough call with me, and you want to come into my program and really change your life. I swear to God, it's possible. Okay, so this is what I did. So I started calling all the utility companies, every single thing. I started asking for better deals. I cut my supplements. I was spending a fortune on supplements, and I was a nutritionist, and I was scared to get rid of supplements because that was my stability. The other thing I started doing was I started, not buying organic food, which it seems luxurious. Hi, Kimmy. Yeah! Yay, Kimmy's on the call. Anita, Sonia, Yvonne, this is Kimmy. She's one of my clients. I love you. So I started to cut other things. I started to buy cheap teas at the store. I used to spend $5.99 on teas, and I started spending $2.99 on teas. The other little tip I did for anyone that's like, I want to do a program, but then, they can't afford it. I think that was Anita's question. So I started to say, I decided I didn't want to pay for anything. So I started doing exchange. And I was like, what can I offer people? And so I decided that I was not going to pay for anything for like an entire year. And it saved me a fortune. I decided I wanted to exchange my blood analysis and my nutrition. And I exchanged, I got a barbecue that I needed, and I did it in exchange. I got what else did I get? I got a computer, a MacBook Pro, for $300. And what else did I exchange? I exchanged everything. I can't even think about what I did. Just pretty much anything. Haircuts, people to mow my lawn, people to cook for me. I even got a cook that cooked me all my meals for 6 months, just all in exchange. So if you're a person, you're like, I don't know what I would exchange, then just look at your skills too. Like, can you clean somebody's house? Can you cut someone's hair? Or like, what can you do? Could you be a helper to somebody? That's a great thing you can exchange sometimes, for whatever. Sometimes, so anything you don't want to pay for, you could exchange somebody. Yeah, volunteer for a session. Exactly. So I used to do it with my program. I don't know if anyone lives close to me, but sometimes for the odd people, I do exchange for part of my program. Some people will give me 3 Gs and then do the rest exchange. Or I've had a person do all exchange, and she just does everything around my house. She cleaned my house. She cooked for me today. All these things. So there's ways. The very first thing is, if you're trying to get started and move in the direction of, start to see what you can do. And yeah, Kimmy says, poor herbal remedies, data entry. So Kimmy actually on this call did exchange for me in regards for services. And so she poured all my herbs and she did data entry. I know, it was so great. So it's about what you can do. I remember even the month that I didn't work, because I had time, I looked for a subsidy for my son for childcare, and I ended up finding this subsidy for 3 years of childcare. It saved me $14,000 a year. So the month that I actually cut my expenses, I saved myself $70,000. Because if you add up the 3 years of childcare, it was like $45,000, and then I saved $25,000 in the year that I cut my expenses. I cut my expenses back by like $2,000 a month because I was just spending very freely. So there's just a few ideas, and put it out to the universe of like, how am I going to make money? What's it going to take for me to bring more money in your life? Write that down, everybody. What's it going to take for me to bring a little more money into my life if you're getting started? So if anyone has, okay, wait, LOL, and then you over volunteer and you pull, I'm done for now, fuck it. Yes. So Kimmy like over volunteered and she's like, I'm done with helping people. She was embracing her selfish self. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, so this is the thing with getting over your money hump. Will there be jobs? Will there be jobs like, for you to do? Where do you live, Anita? Tell me where you live. What else? I'm just thinking. So this is the big thing with bringing in the bling. I think the last thing I'm just going to say, and if anyone else has a question before we go, pop it in the chat. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But here's another thing that had to happen to me, and I just want to share with you, is a lot of times there's a self-worth issue around being successful that people need to. Sydney, mine's Nova Scotia. I could ponder. I have to ponder, Anita, what you could do for me. What do you do for a job, Anita? You tell me. What do you do for your job? But one thing, so one big issue I had was around feeling like a failure if I wasn't achieving. Okay, so this is another big money block. And the times when I went through like a dark night of the soul, let me tell you, I was not achieving a lot. I could barely get off the couch, and I had stage 4 adrenal fatigue after my son and every health issue, ovarian cysts, and my hearing went away, and I couldn't sleep through the night, and I would see everybody doing all these awesome things on Facebook, and I wanted to do that. And every time I did this comparison, it would bring up all these feelings of not being worthy. And my dad saying to me, if I had a test and I got 97%, my dad would say, where's the 3%? Where's the 3%? So a lot of my achieving came from a place of lack. And you can't create abundance from a place of lack. So I had to get to the place where I started embracing my unsuccessful self. Okay? Like when I was laying on the couch, I had to be like, what is success to me today? Maybe success is lying on the couch, Maybe that is amazingly successful, especially if you never let yourself do that and you're going all the time. Okay? So I'm going to read a couple more things. Kimmy says, adrenal fatigue screws you up. Damn, straight. Anita, I was working from home and doing surveys and price checks, but when the economics stopped, I could only do price checks once every 2 weeks, but I don't know if they will be doing that price checks. Okay. Yeah. So you're kind of in between jobs right now. So the cool thing about being in between jobs, because a lot of people, it will bring up, not shitting on yourself. Kimmy just told you, not shitting on yourself. and my battery's going to die soon, so I'm going to have to wrap it up soon. But that is part of the lesson. So if anything's coming up for you, Anita, you got to go into that and take this time to figure out what you want to do. Sorry. Yeah. But when the economy stopped. Yeah, I could only do that. So what you want to do is you want to take this time when this is the problem with us. When life slows down and the money stops coming, we panic. Instead of seeing it as like, why is this coming into my life? Why is this good for me? And how can I take advantage of this time off? Okay? Because we don't always have time off to explore. What I realized when I was out of money, I just kept up this like, I got to make money. I got to make money. And I kept on doing the same thing that I used to do. And you can't do the same thing and expect a different result. Okay? If that makes sense. So it's like, why is this happening to me? And what am I supposed to learn right now? So Anita, I'll think about something. If I can think about something that you could do at a distance, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to write your name down. I'll remember it, Robertson. And then if there's anything that I think you could do, who knows? Maybe it could be an option to take a bit off the top of my course. Okay? I'll think. So I love you guys. That was a fun call. I think I'm going to be doing more and more lives. I think I like them a lot better because they're interactive and I can answer questions for you guys. I just want to tell you that it is possible. You know, I never thought I could make $13,000 a month, and I think by the end of this month I'll probably be making $20,000 this month, and it's insane. And it just seems like a dream that I could, never thought was possible. And it really came from healing these deep wounds. So in my 90-day program, for any of you guys that are interested or still on the call, that's what we do. We go into the inner child. We do inner child work where we go back into your childhood and we figure out what went on and what happened and, all of these things. And it's very cathartic work. And my psychic skill is I can feel people's pain in my body and it helps me. Not, Yvonne, you're so cute. Not to be your guru, because all of you guys are psychic. You just don't know, all of you guys are psychic. Kim knows she's psychic. It helps me know if it's shifted in your body. So when we do this deep work, after every session, my clients will say, oh my God, I feel so much lighter in just a session. Although it doesn't just take one session. It's going to take, Kimmy, how long does it take? Pop a comment. It takes a lot. It's a lifelong thing because you never get there and you never get it done. But the cool thing is the minute you start to do the healing, your life is going to get better and better. So in this 90-day program, we do like one-on-ones, we do journey work. Kim says, yep. And we do breath work, which brings up a ton of past trauma. It might be in a past life. It might be, in a memory from childhood you don't even remember. So breath work is very psychedelic, is very healing, and can actually bring you to the root, the original pain and trauma that is causing your stuckness. Okay, so you want to work with me, jump on a call with me. I work with people, like the breakthrough call is really for people that are ready to invest. So if you need to get to the place where you're ready to invest, then just, take some of those advice that I told you guys, soak up all this content. I'm going to be doing more live Q&As when I actually work with people on the call so people can get a taste. Yeah, Kim says, break down, stomp your feet, go nuts. She holds space for you and scream. I love you. I love you guys. I'm so appreciative of you for being on the call, and let's make some bling, yo. Set your intention. How much money do you want to make by when? Say it every day, okay? Everything that is stopping you is going to come up. This shit will hit the fan, okay? That's what you want, okay? Peace and love. Bye, everyone. I hope you guys, it's been so nice meeting you, Yvonne, Anita, Kim. I don't know if Megan is still on the call. You guys are great. I love you. This is my signature move now. Okay, bye guys. Live video now. You'll be able to choose if you want to save or delete it.